And it's a pretty evenly matched series. There's no doubt about it. And as I mentioned, the Knicks were able to get nearly 90% capacity for the Garden, which is a big deal. It's been a long time.
A few people going to sneak in.
We'll see. But it's just still pretty amazing they sell it out that quickly. It shows you how much people are excited about this team. But what do you think of what Hawks coach Nate McMillan said about the Knicks being in the postseason and him saying how, what players have said, LeBron said this, Chris Paul said this, it's good for the league, but he might have taken it too far. Take a listen.
The league wants this. They need this. A New York, this is a big market, and it's a big market for the league. And New York has been out of the playoffs for a number of years. And, this is the team that our league, they want to see. There's a huge fan base. They want to see New York in the playoffs. They want to see the Lakers in the playoffs. Teams like that, Boston Celtics, they want to see these teams in the playoffs. And I put New York in that category, that the league wants to see it. Everybody wants to see this.
The league wants to see this. Well, the league fined him $25,000 for saying it because it suggests bias to a team. But if the league had wanted to see this, Key, why'd they wait so long?
Yeah, but why? I don't understand why they would fine him for that. All he said is the league wants to see a New York team and a New York market with both teams in the play. It didn't say that the referees was getting ready to.
Well, but the league felt like it was asserting that there was bias towards a team, meaning we wanted to see.
I guess you can't say that.
It would insinuate that.
But we all know.
We know what he's saying.
But we all know that it's better for the leagues to have the big market teams along with other teams in the playoffs. Yeah. Why would we want a drought in New York in the postseason if we could have them in? Why would we not want to see them?
Well, it was the same way we had the conversation with the Lakers, right? When the Lakers are going through those down years, you're like, man, it helps when you have the Lakers in the playoffs.
Well, we only went down for a couple of years, but
I know it's not. I'm not comparing. Like I'm just you.
Same as the Knicks, basically.
Right?
It just sounds different.
I mean, Nate McMillan was speaking nothing but the facts to me.
Yes, that's why I'm like,
it's great
man.
for the league.
Choice of words, probably right. Saying wants, meaning there's an ambition to it.
This is great for the NBA that New York is in the playoffs.
This is good for the league.
Well, let me ask you this question, though.
Yeah. This helps the league tremendously.
Will they have fined Glenn Rivers if he said the same thing?
Well, again, he's a coach. So I think again, if you're playing a team in a series, you could look at this and think he's trying to put a message to the officials like, oh, we already know we're going up against it because the league wants the Knicks to win.
See, I didn't take it like that.
No, you might not be, but others would suggest that's why they just wanted to squelch that kind of talk, and which is why he was fined. But I mean, I think a lot of people would agree. I'm trying to remember the last time all four of the two major markets were in the playoffs at the same time. All four at the same time.
The Lakers made a lot of playoffs. The Clippers,
2012?
Clippers was like clunky for a while. It would probably have been the Nets when they were making their run with Kidd and them, and the Knicks maybe.
Yeah, so I'm trying to figure out.
Well, the Knicks,
when you have both markets, they're the biggest markets. The Lakers and Knicks have the biggest fan bases. They have, they're two of the richest franchises in the league as well, right? They have far-reaching fan base all around the world. And so to have them in the postseason is just good for business.
Absolutely it is.
And maybe I think that's what Nate was trying to say, but he was fined for it anyway.
I wonder if he can appeal it to really explain himself so they don't take his money.
I have a question for you, Alan, about the game, actually.
Yeah.
Do the Knicks have enough offense to keep up with the Hawks?
No. It's going to have to be a defensive battle, and they have to be able to stop the pick and roll. That's going to be the hardest thing. But Tom Thibodeau, who is a finalist for Coach of the Year, you would expect will have a game plan. But don't overlook what McMillan has done with the Hawks. They are 27-11 since he took over as head coach.
It's an incredible story that actually gets no praise nationally.
It's amazing.
The fact that he took over that team and
how about also how the Pacers doing since they fired him?
Exactly.
For no reason.
We're talking about, their head coach, Nate McMillan, I always kind of butcher that name, but you wonder if he'll be on his way out, what his situation is going to be there in Indy.
Well, right. Now they got their doors blown off last night. They looked terrible in that game.
Nate McMillan didn't even want the Hawks job. You know that, right?
No, he
didn't even.
It was a weird.
No, he didn't want it. Like when they got rid of the other guy, he didn't. They had to talk him into taking it permanently. He was kind of like.
He wanted some security is what he wanted.
know.
He wanted some
Well, I mean,
assurances
yes.
there.
Whatever you want
Like,
to
I don't
call
want to
it.
be an interim coach.
Yeah.
I'm either going to be the coach or not.
Yeah.
I'm not just a fill-in. And once they gave him that job, he grabbed that locker room, took control of a young, talented team. And again, 27-11, that's a hell of a run. And they've been on that, and they're going to see now if they won their division. Can they get out of the first round? They're playing what's going to be a very evenly matched, good series, and it starts on Sunday.